Hi, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, a place where you can take some time to understand body language and nonverbal communication, the signals you send out to the world, and how you're able to read the minds of others through the language their body speaks in real time that they aren't even aware of. With this information, you can uncover deceit, attraction, and be able to communicate a lot more efficiently and freely on your day to day. If you enjoy what you listen to and you want to learn more, click subscribe. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the licking of the lips. It can be a conscious or a subconscious behaviour, but we're going to be talking about the subconscious behaviour, something that works outside of a person's awareness. Alright, now there can be numerous meanings to the licking of the lips. What you need to pay attention to is the cluster around the licking of the lips, so that's the whole picture rather so than the isolated instance of the individual licking the lips, alright? It can be a sexual display, but we're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to leave that for a later video. Today we're going to be looking at the licking of the lips as a display of anxiety, okay? Okay, so the lip licking in this sense is a pacifying behaviour, right? Rubbing the tongue on the lips is associated with anxiety and stress. When I speak of pacifying behaviours, they tend to be self-soothing, self-touching gestures, alright? So just as the touch of the face and the neck and the rubbing of the hair and the touching of the legs, brushing the palms off, it's a self-soothing, self-pacifying gesture, okay, to reduce stress and anxiety. We have nerve endings all over our face, which are pleasing to the touch. Alright, releases good endorphins, so this is just another variation of that. So, stress provokes a decrease in saliva production, drying out the mouth and the lips. So it can be indicative of that. Alright, it also goes hand in hand with the dry throat. Okay, so when you see somebody who's a little bit uncomfortable about to go forth and speak in public, you will see this lip licking gesture. Okay, when you see children having to focus during a test under high degrees of stress, you will see this lip licking gesture. Okay, I don't want you to confuse this with sticking the tongue out. This is a self-soothing, self-touch of the lips. It's not sticking the tongue out. Sticking the tongue out is a different gesture, which means a different thing. Okay? So this gesture can be prolonged or brief. Okay? Brief to the point where it can be but a slight micro gesture and very hard to capture. But given that was the case, that would mean the most. It would emphasize the fact that it's down to a stressful stimuli, okay? You have to look at the cluster of body language. We're speaking about the isolated instance right now, but if you were to refer back to my videos and find indicators of stress and anxiety and other pacifying behaviours, you'll be able to identify the larger picture, okay? As when you start to understand body language, things will become pretty clear and you'll be able to identify that it's not a sexual situation, but more so an application of pressure on the individual which is provoking this behaviour, alright? Given that it was a sexual indication, an indication of sexual interest, you'll be able to associate it with perhaps a cluster of eye contact or a real prolonged accented intention behind the licking of the lips. The lip licking we're speaking about today will not include those additional behaviours, alright? So just to re-clarify, if you take something from you today with this lesson, when you're watching the television, if you're watching a competition of sorts, pay attention to the licking of the lips. It might be slight or it might be prolonged. You'll be able to identify it from here and make your own mind up as to what it indicates. You've listened to Everyday Superpower. If you enjoyed the lessons, click subscribe. Goodbye.